Come to the admissions tab. This is where you manage the admission processes of your school. On the overview tab, this is where you get a summary of the admission tab. Then under the cycles, this is where you manage or create your admission cycles. To create an admission cycle, you can hit the new cycle button. Then you fill in all these fields. Then you select your new section and your new term. So before you create your admission cycle, you must have created your new section and term first, followed by the admission opening date, then the admission opening closing date and time as well. Then you check this box if you want an entrance exam to be scheduled or required. Then you also select the classes which you are accepting admission into, JSS1, SS1 or whatever classes. You select them here. Then you provide the number of available seats, be it 20, 10 or whatever. So once you are done, you can click on the create cycle. Then it's going to create this admission cycle, and once created, you will get the admission cycle listed there. Then you can click on the admission cycle. You can choose to edit the admission cycle details, and when you scroll to the bottom under the document requirements, you can choose which document you want the applicant to provide: passport, birth certificate, the last school report card, or the transfer certificate. You check them here, then click on save requirements. This means that the applicant will be requested to upload this document upon registration. Under the applicants tab, this is where you get a list of all the applicants, and each applicant comes with an applicant ID and their name, where their applicant ID will be what they are going to use to log in, with their surname in small letters, in their surname in lowercase as their password. Then this is where you schedule CBT test. As you can see at the top here, you can click on the CBT test button. Then you select the admission cycle, and you have the opportunity to choose between a new test or an existing test. But in this case, I'll be creating a new test. Then you select the new test button. You input the title of the CBT entrance, the duration of the exam, the CBT opening date and time, the closing date and time. Then you select the classes that you want this CBT test to apply to, be it Premier 1. This means that students that applies to Premier 1 must take this test. This test is only applicable to Premier 1 students, so you can create multiple tests for different classes. You can choose to select multiple classes as well. This means all these classes are going to be attached to this CBT test. Next is you need to select your question. You can either select questions from the question bank or write a new question here. The question, you select the correct answer, then you input the topic and then the points, and click on add question. If you have questions on your question bank, you can choose the from question bank option. You select the class where the questions are, you select the subject as well, and then you click on search. Then this lists the questions from your filter. Then you can hit the add button to add those questions. So this means these are the questions that the applicant are going to attempt. Then you can choose questions from different subjects and then add them. I have also filtered questions from SS1 mathematics, so you can add questions from any class, any subject. Everything are going to get compiled together. So as you can see, so these are the questions I've selected. As you can see, 7 questions. Once you are satisfied, you can click on create test. As you can see, it has been created already. And if you want to view your existing test, you can select the existing test option, and you can choose to edit any of the scheduled CBT tests. Back to the applicants tab, you can select any of the applicants to view more details about that applicant. So we have the profile, then we have the documents, we also have the CBT details. So here you can view the answers, and also the integrity of the exam. During the CBT test, the snapshot of the students are being taken and they are going to be displayed under this integrity tab. Next, we have the decisions tab. So this is where you choose to either approve or reject a student. For more inquiries, you can reach out to our customer service via the contact details under the description of this video. Thank you.